everyone, my name is Laura Riffel, and I taught for many, many years. I actually started in 1972 at the School for the Blind, and since then I've taught every single grade, pre-K through adult, gen ed, special ed. I really like working with kids. After I got finished working in public school, working with kids, I moved to the university and I started training teachers, and I then ran a clinic for children with very severe behaviors and a statewide program in Georgia. And I have just spent the rest of my life developing skills to help kids who have behavioral issues be successful and to grow up and have dignified lives, and to help teachers understand how to help those kids have those dignified lives. So I've spent a lot of years studying behavior and where it comes from. I have 10 rules that govern behavior. And the first rule that governs behavior is learned. And the cool thing about that is if behavior is learned, it can be taught, which means we can teach kids how we want them to behave in our Sunday school classrooms by the things that we teach them when they enter the room, when they're seated, when they have those behaviors that we want to change, by using the skills that we're going to share with you in the videos to follow, and also just to help you have a really good time, because we want you to have fun too. And if you're going home not feeling like this was fun, then that wasn't a great experience for you. So giving you these tidbits will really help you have fun in helping our children be successful in Sunday school. One of my other rules that's really important for us to remember is that for every year that a behavior's been in place, it takes 1 month of consistent, appropriate intervention and practice on our part in order for us to see a change. And I like to relate that for the adults that I'm working with in dieting. Many times we start a diet, and actually January 12th, I believe, is National Quit Day. They say that everybody who makes a New Year's resolution on January 1st, about 80% of the people have quit by January 12th. So we have really good interventions like eating right and exercising, and we give it up too early because we didn't wait for it to actually work. And so it's going to take some time for these new skills that we're teaching you to take effect. And remember, we have different kids some weeks, and so we have new kids come in, and so we really are going to have to practice these skills and continue to use them day in and day out when we're here, so that the kids will learn this is the way we do business in Sunday school. If I'm talking, someone's going to come up and sit behind me. I'm going to have a call and response that I'm going to respond to, and that means put my hands together and put my hands in my lap and lean forward and have my eyes on the speaker and my ears open for listening. And we're going to point out the positive behaviors, and we're going to be greeting the students at the door. There are a lot of little tidbits that we're going to be sharing with you to help you be successful, so that you feel respected and you feel like you had a fun time in Sunday school here at Church of the Resurrection. So with that being said, let's get to it. Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for watching this video. We're going to go over 3 ideas of things that you can do to help detour a little bit of the behavior that might be disrupting your Sunday school lessons that you're doing with the students. And the first is called call and response. And so whatever we can do to get the students' attention, where the adult says something and then the students say something back, and they know immediately that that means put your hands together in your lap and pay attention to the adult who's speaking. And so you're going to see in a minute in this video me do God is great, and we taught the kids to sign all the time and to say all the time. And I wanted to share with them that I used to teach students who were deaf, and that when we taught students who were deaf, we used sign language, and this is ASL for all the time. And so the kids really like that. And then, so they're busy doing whatever they're doing when you want to get their attention, and you say, God is good, and the students say all the time. I've been in your classes and I've seen you use 1, 2, 3, eyes on me, and the students say back their responses, 1, 2, eyes on you, and that's great. I think it's kind of fun that we have different ones for here at church, and so we've given you a list of probably about 20 different things that you can use to use call and response. Some of them are religious, some are not, but I think that that's kind of cool that we have our own. So let's watch the video now of what that looks like as we introduce it to the students and use it to actually get them to pay attention when we first start. God is good all the time. Please be seated. Good job. And the second thing that we're going to use is proximity, and proximity can be your best friend. What I've noticed is sometimes our adult leaders kind of stand around the perimeter of the room, and then we've got little bunches of conversationalists in the middle of the classroom, and they're talking while the adult is talking, and we know that it's tempting for them to do that, and we don't want to call on them and embarrass them. So what the adults that have been standing around the perimeter can do is use proximity, and that means we just go in and either sit right behind the 2 or 3 students who are talking, or we scooch in between them and we just give them that quiet little sign of, remember, let's pay attention to what's going up front. And so proximity works really well to help kids remember what the expectations are, that we show respect. And we've taught the kids that showing respect means your eyes are on the speaker, your body is leaning slightly forward, your ears are open, and you're listening to the person who's speaking. And so it's just a physical reminder. So let's go to the tape and let's watch what that looks like in a classroom. When I was a kid, was finding the pictures. So there's who's that a picture of? Jesus. Isn't that a pretty picture? So artists used to paint such beautiful pictures. They still do.
All right. Next thing we will do is we'll play a game. Now our theme for the month of January is Pet Project. It's all about responsibility. And you know, like when you have a pet, you have to be responsible for. Like we were just talking about how hard a fish is to take care of. You got to be responsible for.
And our third thing is just, it's really fun for me. My mantra, and I tell this to people all the time, is energy flows where attention goes. And I wear a shirt that says that at home, around the house when I'm just lounging around the house, just to remind myself that when I put my attention on the positive things happen. When I point out the things that my husband does really well, he does more of those really well things. And the same thing with my grandkids. When I point out what they do really well, they tend to do that even more and more. And so we can use that in the classroom. And it's just called positive language. And we just say, thank you for sitting on your spot. Thank you for sitting on a star. Thank you for spacing yourselves out. Thank you for coming in quietly. Thank you for lining up quietly. Thank you for sitting crisscross applesauce. And the more we label those appropriate behaviors that we want to see, the more we'll see of those behaviors, where if we spend our day saying, stop that, quit that, don't do that, we tend to see more of whatever we just said, stop that, quit that, don't do that.
Just because they're like really scary for us.
I love the way you're raising your hands.
Okay, you do the last one.
It could like, what if it bites you and then you're gonna have to go to like and that would not be good.
Yeah. What do you think? Could put poison in your food. Yeah, that's
Boys and
scary.
girls, I love the way you're listening to the person who's talking. That is so excellent.
Yeah, you guys are doing great.
So that works in life. I've been using it for over 45 years in my marriage. I've been using it with my own children, my grandchildren. I used it as a classroom teacher, and it really does pay off. And the more the kids hear what the expectations are, the more they'll exhibit those behaviors. So we're just reminding the kids, so thank you for paying attention. Thank you for having your eyes on me. Thank you for sitting crisscross applesauce. And you can just say that. So if you see 2 students who are starting to wander around with their attention, you can say, thank you for having your attention on me, and that will remind them to come back. So thanks so much for watching. You're gonna see that in the video. And then we just really appreciate you watching this and getting some ideas for how to keep those little behaviors in control.